fabrics and webbing, the SewEzi portable table. The book review will be for a book called Panel Mashup, and there's a great giveaway at the end. I'm Sara Lawson from Sew Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Social Sunday, my monthly sewing chat. Hey everyone, happy Sunday and welcome to Social Sunday. Thanks so much for joining me for the show. I have a jam-packed outline for the show tonight, so I'm really excited that you are joining me, whether you're watching live or watching the recording later on during the week. So my usual spam reminder, if you're watching over on Facebook and you receive a private message with what looks like a copy of our Sew Sweetness logo, sometimes they're sending you a link asking you to enter credit card information or give them any other information like address and phone number. Please report or block that. We don't send private messages over on Messenger asking for any of that kind of information. And if you've left a comment on our show, if you're watching over on YouTube and you see a reply to your comment, again, usually they're asking you to call or send other personal information. Report or block that as well. I always announce the winner's name verbally on the show, and I also have the winner's name typed up into the description of the show. And everything that I'm scheduled to talk about during Social Sunday are things that I've purchased myself. So these are not things that I'm getting paid to talk to you about, but just cool things that I found that I'd like to share with you. And everything that I'm scheduled to talk about, I link to in the description. So if you're interested in finding out more about any of the books, fabrics, notions, or projects that I talk about during Social Sunday, just check that link in the description and you can find out more information there. So we've decided to do 2 bag labs for tonight. So we'll get started with the first one. Danny, are you ready?
Absolutely not.
Interrupting the show for a special report.
Because now it is time for Bag Lab.
Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating Heat and Bond liquid vinyl. This is a gel product that you can paint and apply to fabric to make it either water resistant or waterproof. So Danny's going to switch over to the overhead camera, and I prepared some samples, and here's what the jar looks like. So you can apply, depending on what you're looking for, between 1 and 3 different coats, and that will give you a different effect. So if you apply 1 coat, you'll get a water and stain resistant fabric. 2 coats is waterproof and stain resistant, and 3 coats is waterproof, stain resistant with a semi-gloss oilcloth finish. So I've got here 1, 2, and 3 coats. I know it's going to be hard to show up on camera, I guess the effect. I would say just this is the 1 coat right here. To me, it looks nearly the same as just quilting cotton by itself. These are, by the way, all quilting cotton. The product recommends you to test on a swatch of fabric before you apply it to a larger piece of fabric. And with the 1 coat, this is really nice. The 1 coat again is the water and stain resistant. 2 coats, as we go up in the amount of coats, this one's, a hair shinier, but I wouldn't say it's super shiny. But the 2 coats is the waterproof and stain resistant. And then the 3 coats is I think you could probably see the slight sheen on camera. This one's a bit more shinier than the 2 coats, and this one's waterproof, stain resistant, and then an oilcloth finish. So I did test sew 1 coat and 3 coats. I just folded the fabric back twice, so I did this and then I folded it under. So for the 1 coat on my particular machine, I did not need to I could just use my regular sewing machine foot. With the 3 coats, I did need to use my Teflon foot. I tried to start using my regular foot and it kind of all bunched up, and just because the foot was sticking. So you'll want to use either a Teflon foot, which is what this is here, or a walking foot for any stitching on the 3 coats. And all right, let me show you how to apply it, and then I'll do a test iron on one of these pieces that I've previously ironed. So you want to use a surface protect your surface by, I'm using parchment paper just because I had it for baking and it was just something that I didn't need to buy extra. And here's my fabric. So with this product, the instructions say to use a paintbrush or a soft foam brush to apply. I actually found some good luck by, I just took a plastic spoon and scooped a small amount out and kind of just added it to the fabric. All right, so I'm just going to, I've got 3 dabs on there. This little, it feels sort of like a laminated cardboard. It comes in the jar underneath the cap. So when you twist open the cap for the first time, this is right underneath. And with the straight edge, I'm just going to use it and go in the same direction. You want to make sure you're applying product evenly, and you don't want to have like little globs like left over, because then when you iron it, it'll look like you have a bubble. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move it. You want to make sure that you pre-wash and dry your fabric before you apply. And I'm going to work in both directions. So I'm going to go left to right and then up and down. And I'm just doing this quickly for the show, but you'll want to take your time and make sure everything looks even. Okay, and then any extra you can go ahead and wipe it back into the jar. So if you're applying this at home, you'll let it dry for 30 to 45 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side and grab one of my pieces that are dried already. I'm going to grab a new parchment for the ironing. And this is a piece that's dry already. And then I'm going to take a second parchment and place it on top. Okay, so you'll need to have your iron set at a medium setting with no steam. And we're going to keep the iron moving for 45 seconds, and you can overlap the areas just to make sure everything's covered. I'm not going to go through that whole 45-second process, but just know it's 45 seconds for each area, and then kind of keep it moving and overlap it a little bit. So once that cools, if you intend to add a second layer, a second coat, you can go ahead and do that once it's completely cool, and just repeat that process up to 3 coats. Once you are happy with the amount of coats that you have applied, then you'll just let the piece cure or rest for 24 hours, and then you can go ahead and sew it. So on the container, it's noted it's non-toxic and acid-free. It is machine washable in cold water, and you can lay it flat to dry if you would like to. Since it's water resistant, you can also wipe it clean with a damp rag. And as you can see, it is sewable, but the packaging noted that because you're making little holes with your stitches, it might compromise the waterproofing. Your mileage may vary, and I did Google it because I was curious, but this product is not food safe. So you'll want to make sure that you stay away from, say, a lunch bag or any kind of food covering, something that will be coming in contact with food. You want to skip that. So again, the product is called Heat and Bond Liquid Vinyl, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. But I really like this a lot. I like that you can kind of choose what kind of finish you like. I really like that aspect of it. Sheila wants to know, how would you compare this to OD coat? I felt like the application was a little bit different. The reason that I decided to review this on the show was because my retreat in September, somebody had applied this to their fabric. From memory, it looked like they possibly had applied just the single coating to theirs, and I liked how the fabric felt when I held it in my hand, and I liked that with the one coating, it doesn't look shiny. Just personal preference, but I kind of like finishes that are generally not shiny. So that's what I liked about it. I was really excited when I felt the fabric that this person brought to the retreat. So yeah, I'm really excited about this product, and I think I might like it slightly better than the Odie Coat. Nothing wrong with Odie Coat, but if you've tried the liquid vinyl, let me know in the comments how you liked it. Eileen says, does it feel stiffer as you go up in coats? That's a good question. Let me grab all my pieces out here again. 1, 2, 3. Definitely not stiffer. Well, yeah, I would say comparing 1 coat and 3 coats, I wouldn't say stiffer, but I would definitely say the drape of the single coat it's more drapier than the 3 coats. But the 3 coats was extremely easy to sew with, so I would have no hesitation recommending this with whatever interfacing you're using with whatever bag you're making. So even with foam interfacing, super easy to sew. I would say I would consider this lighter than, again, this is quilting cotton with the 3 coats on it. I would consider this lighter than, say, like a canvas fabric. So if you're okay sewing with canvas fabric with interfacing in layers, then this will be easy peasy to sew with. Elizabeth says, would you use this for a lining? You could either use it for exterior or lining. When I was Googling last week, I noticed that people were using it for all sorts of things, like a canvas or cotton covered chair, like benches and things like that. So like all sorts of applications. Dawn wanted to know, does it smell? The finished product, I noticed no smell. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, when I was ironing it, I would say it was like a 1 or a 2, as far as like 1 being like no smell at all and 10 being like very strong smell. I would say it was extremely low odor for ironing it. And Carol says, would you suggest applying the heat and bond prior to sewing on the finished bag? So great question, and I wrote this in my notes, but I forgot to mention it. I would recommend applying the product to a bigger piece of fabric than you need. You don't necessarily have to apply it to, like, say, a 1-yard piece, but I definitely would not cut out your pieces to size and then apply it. I would work with a bigger piece, just because when I was applying this, there was one piece where I had like a little glob and I didn't notice it when I applied it, and I didn't notice till after I ironed it. And so I think that's one of the reasons. I don't know if you can see that over here. There's like a little white. Danny, can you zoom in over here? See, there's like a little white like haze over there. That was where I just left a little bit too much product. So in order to avoid that, it would be easier if you just applied it to a bigger piece than you needed, then cut out your pieces after the product is fully cured after the 24 hours. Charlotte says, do you have to stir or shake the product before use? No, you actually don't. At least in my opinion, you don't, just because it's a gel. So you don't have to mix anything. There's nothing to mix. It's not like the product has separated and settled to the bottom. It's just a gel, and I just scooped off from the top, and it was, in my opinion, ready to use like that. Jenny says, can you use it on silk? That's a really good question. There's no comment on the product about types of fabric. It does say works best on smooth fabrics, so I would just take a little scrap of your silk and test it on there first. Joyce says, can you use it with cork? Another good question. In my opinion, it's not necessary on cork, just because cork fabric, or at least the cork I sell, is water resistant already. So I don't know that this would be necessary on the cork. The cork I sell at the factory, they Scotch guard it before we get it. So not sure that would be necessary on the cork. Does the jar say how many yards it coats? Oh, that's a good question. It does not, but I mean, I barely used any, so this will last quite a long time for a lot of fabric, yeah. Does the product bond with the fibers of the fabric once ironed? As in, will the coating rub off in areas which get a lot of abrasion, like on backpacks or duffels? That's a good question, too. Let me think about it in terms of this. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let me take my fingernail and try to scratch it. I mean, there's nothing really like flaking off, if that's what you mean. It's hard to say over time, like say a year of use of a backpack made with this. I don't really know like what that looks like, but seems pretty durable, at least from my fingernails trying to scratch into it. Is there shrinkage? The product does recommend to pre-wash and dry your fabric. So with that being said, if you're pre-washing your fabric, then there shouldn't be much shrinkage. I didn't feel that it kind of cinched up after I applied it, but it's always good practice. Every fabric reacts differently. It's always good practice to apply it to a slightly bigger piece than you need and then cut it down to size after it's been cured. Eileen says, is there a shelf life? Another good question. Honestly, I haven't had this long enough to tell, but if you're watching this show live and you've purchased this product before, let me know in the comments if you found it to be drying out over time or anything like that. It being a gel, I can't imagine that it would dry out quickly, but let me know in the comments. Danny will try to look out for those in case anyone mentions anything about that. All right, so I wanted to share a few patterns that Amy and Michelle made. So first off, this is a Ninebark backpack that Amy made with a really cute Pokemon theme, and the modification that Amy made to this backpack, in the original pattern, there's a side zipper on either side, and Amy omitted that to make more of like a simpler version. And she also added these really cute vinyl feet on the bottom, if you want to call it that. I really love the large Pokemon closure, and also if you check out the... Danny, you want to switch to the overhead camera actually? Here's the adjusters on the straps, which are super cute. Love the fabric. This is a vinyl. And there's like a little lightning bolt zipper pull. Oh, let me show you since we're in the overhead, let me show you those feet on the bottom. This is really clever. I've never seen anything like this before, but I really like how the kind of like faux feet.
Sarah, what's the name of that Pokemon?
Pikachu. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, good.
Super cute. And I've linked to Amy's social media in the comments. And then I've got one more pattern. I guess I'll just show it in the overhead. So these are the Kismit Trinket boxes. This pattern has 3 different sizes of like circular cases and then 3 different sizes of rectangular. So obviously these are the circles. Michelle made these, and as you can see, a really great way to use up your itty bitty little scraps. And this is the largest size. There's 2 smaller. Love that little rainbow on the lid, by the way. And Michelle modified it to add this little loop if you'd like to easily hang this. I think this is a great idea for some storage in your craft room if you have little command hooks where you can kind of hook these on the wall. I think that would be a really great idea. So handmade. Love the quilting on these as well. The strip piecing. Little bird on the top. And here's the small one. And there's one more inside. I love this so much. Michelle said this is one of her favorite things that she's ever made. This is the Suffolk coin purse. Michelle modified it to make it smaller, and she added this really cute coin purse clip and the little ladybug on the back. So I've linked to all of these patterns in the description in case you're interested in checking them out after the show. And also Michelle, who made these piece Kismits, her social media is linked to in the description. And I think we'll get right over to, let me move my parchment out of the way. We'll get right over to new fabric that I've added to my stash. This month is all Tula Pink Graywork fabrics, and I've got the webbing as well. Let me show you the webbing first since I've got that handy. So the new webbings, I think if I hold it up front camera, that'll be best. New webbings come in the darker triangles in 1 inch and 1.5 inch, and then also the light gray. I love the light gray so much. It looks so pretty. Danny, would you mind switching to the overhead just to make sure? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so here's the light gray. Here's the darker. And what I like about these, they're neutral, and these webbings will go with just about any fabric. We've got these in stock right now in the shop, in case you're interested. Really beautiful. And gosh, I'm running out of room. Tula's new fabrics, Graywork fabrics, are heavy on black, white, and gray. I got multiple yards of each, I must say. What I really like about these fabrics is that there's still sprinkles of color throughout. And there's also some really fun coordinates, stripes in the 2 different colorways. Love these stripes. These are great for, any stripe is great for binding. And then polka dots. Super cute. And then there's also a few more prints in the different colorways. Oh, that's upside down. And then this one's my favorite out of the whole line. The puffins. So if you're interested in the fabrics or the webbings, I've linked to everything in the description. And I am definitely running out of room on my fabric shelves. I have like a whole shelf only Tula pink fabric, and I'm officially out of room. So I think I need to build a second shelf. I use Billy bookcases to store my fabric, which are the same as these shelves behind me. Really handy. In fact, someone just emailed me before the show about my previous comic book boards folding video from a few years ago, and folding the fabric on comic book boards and storing it on the Billy bookcase shelves. It works out perfect. It's chef's kiss. All right, so I have a question for you. Let me know in the comments. What was your favorite animal or coordinating prints for Graywork? Maybe you liked the seals, the puffins. There were wolves, polar bears, cheetahs, or maybe you liked the stripes or the polka dots. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. Tamara says, I like the cheetah and the polar bear ones. Yeah, definitely. Naomi says, I love the puffins. Yeah. All great, of course. And they just came out. So lots of places to find Tula's new Graywork fabrics. The other day, I went with my daughter Violet on a field trip to Oak Park, Illinois, which is very near Chicago, but we visited architect Frank Lloyd Wright's home and studio, and we also visited the Unity Temple that he designed also in Oak Park. So I took a ton of pictures. I'm just sharing a few here just because one of them has a sewing related theme. So Danny's going to put the pictures up. This was his drafting room where the people worked. Bathroom, one of the first indoor bathrooms in the area. Singer sewing machine. This is in one of the rooms. His first wife's day room, and this is the outside of the house. So I was super excited to find that Singer sewing machine in one of the rooms. I did ask if it, because I wasn't sure if it was the original sewing machine. I asked, and the guide was not sure, but obviously it's an old Singer, so it might have been the very original sewing machine that was in that home. But the tours were fantastic. The house tour was an hour, so was the Unity Temple tour. So if you're ever in the Chicago area and you have an interest, I've linked to both of those in the description. It was a super fun day and we had a great time. So just because I'm curious, I like going to museums and taking tours. Let me know in the comments what your favorite museum or tour that you've ever been on is, and what state or city it was in, if you recall. Always looking for new places to visit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to scanning through the comments after the show. All right, so the book review for this month is a new book called Panel Mashup from Gudrun Erla from GE Designs and Doug Lico. I am obsessed with this book because I have a lot of panels in my stash and not sure what to do with majority of them. So very exciting to see that this book came out. Danny's going to switch to the overhead camera so that I can show you all the projects in the book. First off, love that this is spiral bound, very easy to flip open. It's not a huge book, 80 pages, but tons of projects inside. So I'm just going to flip through all of the projects. Everything's very easy to assemble. A lot of them are just simple rectangles or squares to cut out. Love this really cute farm baby quilt. This is the quilt I'm going to make first. I'm probably going to make it in the same exact fabrics. I did look online before the show to see where I could buy these fabrics, and they're actually the hummingbird panel and the coordinating fabrics are not coming out till January 2026. So this is definitely on my list to buy as soon as those fabrics come out. These are placemats and candle mats. So this is a great, easy project, quick project to use with some smaller panels. I actually got this panel at my retreat from the White Elephant. I stole it. I stole it from Nancy, who came to the retreat. So, of course, I have to make that one. I just love, as you can see, a variety of panel sizes are represented. Some of them are bigger panels like this one, and some of them are smaller like in the placemats. But I really love all the ideas. Sometimes when you buy fabrics, it's hard to know exactly what to make until you see that fabric used in a project. And so I think it's really helpful to see the panels used in a variety of different ways. Oh, these reindeer fabrics are really cute too. Yeah, this is just a great book. Really easy to understand the cutting instructions. This is one of my favorites too. Actually, I probably will make this in the same exact fabrics just because it looks so good. All right, and there's just a couple more. Yeah, I feel like this book is a really great value. Lots of projects that are unique looking in the book. And again, it's called Panel Mashup. And there's a link in the description in case you'd like to check out this book after the show. All right. Now we're on to our second bag lab of the night. Danny, are you ready for the second one?
Hell yeah.
We're interrupting the show for a special report.
Because now it is time for Bag Lab.
So I'm really excited to review the SewEzi portable table that I purchased for myself. I was thinking about this table earlier today. Not only is it good for sewing with friends or taking with you to a sewing retreat, but it's also great if you don't have a dedicated sewing area in your house. Our previous house in Chicago, I used to sew in the dining room, and it was, I don't know, I felt like it was a bit of a hassle, you know, getting everything set up and then cleaning up after myself when I needed to clear off the dining room table. But having this portable sewing table, I think is great because you can just stick it in any room of your house, bedroom, anywhere you want, and it folds, and you could stick it under your bed or in a closet, and it takes up very little space. So here is my review of the SewEzi portable table. Hey everyone, today I wanted to show you the SewEzi table that I purchased. I purchased the portable table model. So when it comes in the shipping box, it comes in two main pieces. So the first piece is this table attached to the legs. The legs are already attached. And the second piece that you'll receive in the shipping is this bottom portion with the wheels attached to it. So there's just a small amount of assembly required. These posts over here, you'll be attaching them, and there's washers included, and the amount of washers that you'll use will be specific to your sewing machine. So I just have my Jukies. They're about the same body style, so I won't need to ever swap out for different sewing machines. But if you will be using this table with more than one sewing machine, you can purchase additional kind of little platforms that you can put on the table and swap out between your different sewing machines quite easily. Another piece included in the shipment is one acrylic insert, and this insert is per sewing machine. So when you order, there's a drop-down box where you can select your sewing machine. And again, if you're going to be using the table with multiple sewing machines, you'll just need to purchase an additional insert for each additional machine, but one is included with the table purchase. So you just go ahead and slide that insert in place, and then go ahead and grab your sewing machine, and you just go ahead and slide it in between the acrylic. So the point of the table is to have the bed of the sewing machine level with the rest of your workspace, which is really great for lots of things, bag making, if you're machine quilting a quilt, and also obviously if you're going to a sewing retreat or taking your table and your sewing machine to sew with friends. So I wanted to show you how easy this is to collapse, and there's one handle on the long edge for, let me go ahead and put the acrylic to the side. There's one handle over here for carrying, and there's an additional handle if you wanted to use the wheels to roll it, which is really handy. So I'm going to go ahead and put the machine on its side. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's flattened, or if you just plain wanted to store it, say, under your bed. But it has an easy to carry handle, and if you wanted to use the wheels, you can roll it kind of like a suitcase. It comes with sort of a, I don't know, to me it kind of looks like a pillowcase. So you can put the table inside here, and then there's a really nice storage bag that's zippered, so it slides in the storage bag, you zip it closed. And then the nice thing is you still have access to the handles when you're using the storage bag. So this is really, I think I will enjoy using this. I got it so I could sew with friends, or if I wanted to sew once in a while in my bedroom while I'm watching TV. And I have a link in the description in case you're interested in checking out more about the portable table. And they also have different models of tables as well, and some accessories that you can add also. I didn't get any of the accessories, but they have little attachments for holding scissors and notions and all sorts of things. But I just got the basic, just the table with what I showed in this video. So I hope you enjoyed. And again, this is the SewEzi portable table. All right, so I know some of you had some questions about the SewEzi table, so Danny's gonna put some of your questions up on the screen.
Yeah, I was looking for the best questions, so the first couple I'll put up right away.
Joey Jackson says, I love Danny's Bag Lab introduction. Becca says, I have to give Danny a shout out for being such an enthusiastic supporter. I love it. These don't look like questions, Danny. These look like compliments to you. Rebecca says, how sturdy is it with a Juki TL? Does it move much when you're sewing? No, it's lovely to sew on. Really sturdy and great. How heavy?
Plus, it was super easy to go together. It's not like I'm an IKEA veteran, and it's nothing like that. I would say it's probably 15, 20 minutes, and it's together. It's pretty amazing.
This is a good question. How heavy a machine can it support? I would say my machine is probably one of the heaviest sewing machines. My Jukies are, would you say they're at least 40 pounds?
I can Google it.
They're really heavy. Danny will Google it in just one second. Also, I know there was a question about how much that particular table costs. At the time of this show, their website reports it being $349 with free shipping to the lower 48 states. And that includes everything that I showed in the video, including the case and that acrylic insert for fitting at the top of the table to fit your sewing machine.
26 pounds.
26 pounds. Okay, my machine's 26 pounds. I feel like my machine's fairly heavy. Yep, that was the question I just answered. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Debbie says hit like and subscribe. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. What are the measurements? Let me look. I pulled up the website just in case there were any other questions. I'm not seeing it on here. Oh, here we go. The tabletop dimensions are 34 inches by 19 inches, and the height of the table is 29 inches. Also, the table weighs 22 pounds, which is not bad for a table. And by the way, this one was the smallest table they had. They had other tables that were, this is the portable one, but they had other sewing and cutting tables. So if you're interested in a similar style, but something bigger, they had bigger ones as well. Danielle says, Sarah, thank you for all you do. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate, especially catching us live. Kay says, does it come in sizes for large, heavy machines? Yeah, there's other size tables, but that's the one that's the portable one. And they also have a serger table if you'd like one for your serger. Dee says, it is an amazing retreat table. It is easy to transport. And Patricia says, we love Danny. Can it hold any machine? Yeah, when you check out, there's a drop down and you can start typing the type of machine you have, and then it will autofill. And if by any chance you have a different machine, I think they'll make an insert for whatever machine that you have, if it's not one that they already stock on their website, which is great news. Marilyn says, I've used my SewEzi insert for about 10 years. It's wonderful. Great to hear that, Marilyn. And Lori says, had this table for years and love it. Awesome. Elizabeth says, I have a TL18 QVP. Does it work for that? Yep, I have that machine. Works just fine. Lori says, my Janome HD9 weighs 32 pounds and it works fine. Awesome news. Yeah, I feel like those machines, the Juki or the HD9, are at the higher end of the heaviness scale. So yeah, certainly. And again, if it's a variety of machines, and like I mentioned in the review, if you have multiple machines that are just all different machines, thankfully my 3 Jukis they all fit in that table the exact same way. But if you have multiple machines, you can purchase the different accessories to fit your other multiple machines on the same table. All right, was that it on the questions on the table? Awesome. So, one more? Yes, Heather wants to know, is there a link for the table? Oh, and does it come in any other color than white? No, the tables come in white, at least currently on their website. And there's a link in the description with links to all of the products that I talk about during today's show, including that SewEzi table. So check that link in the description. And, oh, thank you, Catherine. Catherine says, thank you for your dedication in keeping us informed. So that SewEzi table was actually another thing that I saw at my retreat. Jen had that table with her, and I was really admiring it. And as soon as I got home after the retreat, I purchased it right away because I knew it just felt like a special product. I knew I would use it, and I knew you would love to hear about it on the show. So hope you enjoyed tonight's Bag Lab. All right, before we get over to any other live questions and Danny's picks of the month, my birthday is coming up at the end of the month, and a few years ago I did put the call out for birthday cards, which I have all of your birthday cards if you've sent, I think it was probably 8 years ago. I do still have all of those birthday cards in my sewing room, and I really treasure them. So I wanted to ask, since it's been so many years, if you would like to send me a birthday card, and this is completely optional, but you can check that link in the description, and I have a mailing address listed if you'd like to send me a birthday card this month. Again, link is in the description, and the address is, if you click on that link, the address will be posted there. I think Danny's got a little graphic to put up on the screen also, but again, totally optional, but in case you would like to send me a card, I will hang on to it always. All right. Before Danny's picks, I wanted to let you know, if you have any additional questions for me, if you're watching live, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and type your questions in the comments now. It can be a sewing related question about a notion or tool, or a bag making question. And I'll be answering those in just a few moments. But first, let's get over to Danny's picks.
Up first is Jeanette with the Marlin backpack. It's got the bee theme, you got the zipper pulls, really nice job. I love the color of it. The fabric's just simple and beautiful. Side pockets, the strapping, just really nice job. Did a good job ironing. The shape looks amazing. Really clean job on this finish, and the bees on the inside is a great match for that. Great job, Jeanette. Up next, we have Lori with the widget bag, and she did an excellent job with the photography, the finish. I love everything about this one, and there was only one picture. I wish there was more, but that's all I got for you. Marcia made this chickadee backpack, and I just saw this floral pattern, and I thought it was wonderful. I love the deep greens with the bright reds and purples. Great job. Matilda made the best friend carrier into a duffel bag, and that's actual vinyl pockets on the outside there with some Hogwarts vinyl. She's got some side pockets for additional storage, and it was just really cute bag. And I thought, man, that's a really cool duff bag, and I could see traveling with something like this. You got tons of storage on the inside. She's got inside pockets. She's got a mesh bag, maybe for delicates. In my case, it would be socks. I always carry a ton. And then we have Sean. She made the easy leather hobo bag in denim. So there's some old jeans she had she didn't care for. And I think she had some kind of glue that attached those additional fabric on there. And great job with that, Sean. You always look so excited and fun with your pictures. And great job with that. Keep it up, everyone. A lot of great bags this week.
Awesome job, everyone. All right, let's get over to, are there any more live questions, Danny, that I can answer? All right.
But Lori is watching.
Joey says, happy birthday. I'll celebrate my 74th next week. Happy early birthday to you.
I'm just going a lot of comments about the bags that were posted.
Okay, gotcha. Cherry says, lately my Juki additional storage 2010Q has been skipping stitches when top stitching. Should I be using a walking foot or maybe just get my machine serviced? Yeah, as soon as I started reading that, I was thinking get the machine serviced, especially if it's been a while. If it's been more than a year and a half, take it in to get serviced. Years ago, one of my machines, when I brought it in, it wouldn't skip stitches, but every like 5 or 6 stitches, there'd be a slightly, not even a diagonal stitch, but it would just look slightly different than the other stitches. So I took it in to be serviced, and the technician said that there was so much lint in the, like, further in the body from someone who's been sewing a lot, and he asked me how often and I sew, and at the time I was sewing about every single day. So he said he'd never seen anything like that, but it's never a bad idea to get your sewing machine serviced. Lori says, any info on where to find that Pokemon hardware? I have no idea, but feel free to email me after the show and I'll try to track that information down for you. Danny's going to actually put my email address up on the screen. My email is Sara@sewsweetness.com, and you can email me anytime with any questions that you have, and that's Sara with no H.
Okay, we got a lot of questions.
Oh, good. Lots of questions.
Here's the comment
Sharon says, can you do twice a month instead of once a month showing? I will. I'll think about that. Yeah, I'll think about it. Marion says, how are the new patterns coming along? They're coming along great, which is why my hesitation about the twice a month live shows, just because I feel like this year I'm happy with my progress on new sewing patterns, but I'm working on the 4th new pattern right now. We've got 2 of the 4 videos done already, so I'm hoping for end of November, early December release on the 4 new patterns, but I'll keep you updated on social media as far as the release. Charlotte says, how are your animals doing? Fantastic. Our dog Mikey is currently getting walks and playtimes as he always does during the live shows. The kids handle that. And my horse Olive is doing great. She's growing her winter coat and she's just loving it. Once it gets cold, the bugs start to vanish and the horses really love it when the bugs are gone. Happy early birthday. Mine's this month too. Are you a Scorpio or Sagittarius? I'm a Sagittarius, and happy early birthday to you as well. What is the difference between the Blazing Star bag and the one directly underneath it on the shelves? Oh, great question. Let me pull those down. Danny, would you mind just hiding that? Thank you. Okay, so this is the Blazing Star bag. It's got the front pocket, recess zipper, and this is the widget messenger bag modified into a sling backpack, which is the, single strap. There we go. Single strap. The original pattern has a crossbody strap attached to either side. It does have the front pocket and then the main pocket over here. And Michelle Tripp made this one. She added some fun selvage on the back. And I do have a Bag Lab demonstration how to turn a bag into a sling backpack. And you can just Google that on my YouTube channel. I think it might be under sling backpack. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Carol says, will you have a sewing retreat next year? We haven't booked anything yet, but
There's like 4 questions about that.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I kind of would like to have it in another state or another area, but that's a little hard for us too, just because we don't have access to if we forget something at home, or if someone needs at this particular retreat, some people needed things they had left at home like hardware or webbing, and we were able to quickly go out to our shop and get those items. And we were also able to visit the hotel beforehand, make sure everything was set up, and if we had it in a different state, we probably wouldn't be able to do that because we'd have to fly or drive out somewhere else. And so I think that's my only hesitation, and I think I just need to figure out how to make that happen and think about it some more. Charlotte says, any plans to design a small handbag? Baguette bags are a trend right now. I do have, not in this next set of 4, but the set after that will be a small shoulder bag, or I guess it could also be a crossbody bag. I'm trying to think what patterns were in this set because I've forgotten already. Yeah, I would say none of them are very small this time. Happy early birthday. Also, I'm going to be 79 at the end of the month too, so we're in the same birth month. Happy early birthday to you. Lots of birthdays in November this month. Some years my birthday falls on Thanksgiving, not this year though. Crystal says, I am new to you. Do you do sewing videos as well? Yes, my focus is on bags and other accessories that are also 3-dimensional, like pouches, cosmetic bags, anything 3-dimensional. My website's sewsweetness.com, and you can find out more about, I have lots of pattern hacks, sewing videos, a live show every month on the first Sunday of the month. So, and you can also sign up for my newsletter. If you click that link in the description, there's a link to sign up for the newsletter, and that's the best way to be notified about any new videos or projects that I post. Let's see, 2 large laptops, docking station cords, and other travel stuff in one backpack. Which pattern? I would wait for the 4 new patterns because one of the 4 is the Darner backpack, which is, they're not here because they're in the basement because we were shooting videos of them, but I showed them, I think I showed them on last month's show. That was one of the retreat patterns this year. But I would highly recommend waiting for that one because that one's perfect for laptops especially. Gail says, my birthday is next week too. Next week birthday. Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
Gail.
A lot of birthdays this month.
Judy's birthday is on the 19th. Judy will be 81 this year. Happy birthday to you, Judy.
And another person's
Awesome.
birthday just passed too.
Let's see. Oh, Ramel. Ramel was just here with us yesterday. If you watch So Hungry Hippie over on YouTube, or perhaps you've purchased some vinyl from So Hungry Hippie, Ramel and Natalie are owners and founders of that company. Happy birthday to Ramel. And I think that's it on the questions, right, Danny? Mm-hmm. All right. One last thing to get to for tonight is the giveaway. The giveaways are randomly drawn. You have until the end of the day this Saturday to leave a comment on our show. We add up all the YouTube and Facebook comments together, and I will announce the winner on next month's show. This month's prize is a $50 gift certificate to my website, sewsweetness.com, and I have an extra question that you can answer in the comments for an extra method of entry. My question is,
Sorry.
when you go shopping, do you prefer in and out, just quick what you came for, or do you like to browse? So let me know in the comments. Did I mess up on the questions, Danny? Wrong question.
Yeah, that's
I think that was a
not me.
I think that was a me error this time.
I actually hit the wrong button first, so we both got blamed.
Let me know if you prefer in and out shopping or if you like to browse. Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching Sewcial Sunday. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to tune in for the show. And I hope you have a great week and happy sewing. Bye, everybody.
See ya.